Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel where we discuss all things narcissism, and this video is to explore more of how a narcissistic person moves on. We all have different ways of processing information, we all have different ways of grieving and moving on from things in our life. We all have different ways of coping with change. However, narcissistic people tend to follow a similar pattern of behaviour. When it comes to a narcissist moving on, one of the first things they will do is lie. We can all hit a stage of denial when we are grieving. Narcissistic people, it's not denial, it's lies. Lies upon lies upon lies. They lie to themselves. They lie to those around them to cover up their behaviour, to gain the admiration as they play the hero of how they tried to save somebody, how they did their best by somebody, or to play the victim of how everyone around them, all the exes are crazy, everyone's out to get them. When it comes to a narcissistic person, they are going to lie to the person they're leaving. They are going to discard them in some of the most horrific ways, and they're not going to give any form of closure because they enjoy having the upper hand. They enjoy having the knowledge and the power over somebody and over somebody's emotions. So they're going to lie to the person they're leaving, whether that's lying to leave the door open to return or lying to put all the blame on that person. They're going to lie to their friends and family of how the person they are leaving is the one with all the problems, the one with all the issues, the one who's got it in for the narcissist. They're going to lie to the new suppliers. They sell an illusion of just how amazing they are and how the ex is the one that causes all the issues within the relationship. They'll have very little to do with their own children, yet they will shower the new supplier's children with affection, attention and support. As a narcissist would rather impress a stranger than care for their own family, because this backs up the lies, this backs up the stories they tell. Because the narcissist has been the doting mummy or the doting daddy with their new supplier's children, people believe that image. So when the narcissist claims that the ex is bitter and crazy and jealous and just will not allow them to see the children because the narcissist isn't showing up for those children, it backs the narcissist story, it backs their lies, and it invalidates the ex when the ex tries to speak up. With narcissistic people, they don't do responsibility. So they will blame the ex of trying to steal all their money because they don't recognise that they should just support their own children. It's not given for a narcissist. A narcissist believes that you're exploiting them, trying to ask them to support their own children. Narcissistic people move on by denying all knowledge. They deny all knowledge of any wrongdoing. Where their victim usually questions, was it me, was it them, but I did this and I did that and I wasn't at my best and I made them do it and if only I'd have done this differently. They're processing it and working it all out, whereas with a narcissist, it's everybody else's fault. They don't do anything wrong. So they deny all knowledge of anything that they did wrong and pass the blame over to somebody else. They shame somebody else. When a narcissistic person moves on, they find a new source of supply because they need that admiration, they need that validation, they need that attention. Whether it's the grandiose attention when they're love bombing and selling people an illusion so they're getting that admiration of just how amazing they are when they've got that charismatic charm, or the sympathetic attention when they're playing the victim of how the world is out to get them. And the world is a very unpleasant place at times, and we do all go through suffering. So it's so easy to get drawn into the tales of woe that they tell because we know these things can happen. Yet due to how they portray themselves and due to how they sell the story, it's increasingly difficult to recognise that they are the ones who cause the issues. What we can notice is their pattern of behaviour. the way they frequently have to move from relationship to relationship because they're incapable of loyalty and commitment, yet they're moving on to try and prove that they are capable of these things. They play the victim. If they can't get that grandiose attention, they're going to play the victim. If they fear exposure, they're going to play the victim. If someone tries to hold them accountable, they're going to play the victim. Nothing is ever their fault. Nothing is ever down to them. It's always somebody else's fault. Somebody else wronged them. Somebody else did bad by them. Now, some narcissistic people do have that level of intelligence where they can turn around and say, I tried to do my best, I really did. So that it seems like they're being genuine and they're being honest. However, they're just manipulating the situation. Narcissistic people move on by ruining people's reputations, discrediting people's character. This works in the narcissist's favour in a few ways, because by ruining another person's reputation, by discrediting somebody else's character, the narcissist's lies are more believable than those who the reputation of those who, the truths of the people who are trying to describe who the narcissist is or what the narcissist has done. Ruining somebody's reputation, telling lies and stories to those around them, playing the victim, gets the narcissist that sympathetic attention. And as narcissistic people are envious of others, by ruining somebody else's reputation, they get to ruin that other person's life. They get to destroy that other person, and they get a real kick out of this because they believe other people are envious of them. And the more you chase them to try and ask them to stop, to try and get them to quit, to try and get them to leave you alone, to try and explain how it's making you feel and what it's doing to your life, they lack the empathy to care. The more you chase them, the more they feel valid. The more they feel a presence within your life, the more they feel that smugness that they're getting one over on you, which is another way a narcissistic person moves on. And it all ties in, is those false allegations. By blaming you for everything, they get to walk away scot-free. And it's very difficult when you're on the outside to try and work out who the genuine victim is and who the perpetrator is, because the narcissistic person will be telling everybody so many lies and going all out to ruin the other person's reputation. They'll be telling the half-truths. They'll be telling the story, although they'll twist it. They'll claim that the ex did everything to the narcissist that the narcissist actually did to the ex. And they usually get in there first with their stories. As a genuine victim, it usually takes time to process, and through things such as naivety, realizing you've not seen what's happened, and we don't know until we've experienced or learned something, or due to feeling ashamed, due to being manipulated and believing and being an enabler, it can be very difficult to speak out about what has happened to you. Meanwhile, the narcissist is happily telling everybody and anybody and everybody, especially those who like to gossip, because they spread it a lot further and a lot faster. So the narcissist can take a step back and not necessarily say anything. They just leave it to their enablers and flying monkeys to do their dirty work for them. They go all out to triangulate you against people. They triangulate siblings against each other. They play people off against each other. They play exes and new supplies off against each other. They go all out to divide people so people can't come together and get to the bottom of the matter, get to the truth, because the narcissist is planting that many seeds in everybody's mind to cause that doubt that people usually end up working harder to please the narcissist and keep the narcissist on side. Now, the narcissist can either be treating that person really well, that people do not believe the truths that people are telling about the narcissist, or the narcissist can just have some dirt on that person. We all have a history. We've all done things that we're perhaps not proud of. So a narcissist can just have some information on that person that they can use against that person to gain that person onto the narcissist side. Or they can just have seen what the narcissist has done to others and fear it being done to them. When they move on, they basically manipulate anybody and everybody they can to work reality in their favour. They rewrite history to escape accountability. Now, we can all live the same experience and have a different perception of what happened. However, genuine people can usually discuss this and, oh yes, I see how you see that. Yes, I get that now. With a narcissistic person, their reality is usually completely different to what actually happened. It isn't a case of their side, your side, and in the middle of the truth. It's a case of your side, the truth, because we are all capable of leaving bits of information out, and your side might well be the truth. However, it's possibly not the whole truth. And then there's the narcissist version of reality, which is completely different to what happened and is completely made up onto what will make the narcissist look good. Several ways narcissistic people move on. Any that you noticed, please do add those into the comments. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers, and your continued support of the channel is greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about narcissistic behaviour to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. If you are looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.